A great expedition made by the Russians to search underground kingdom Shambhala and the disappearance of 100,000 people. In several ancient texts, there are stories of the underground world and a vast network of underground tunnels and cities spread around the earth. There are many firm believers who think there are many entrances to the underworld, such as the Pyramid of Giza, Iguacu Falls, the Gobi Desert, the Andes, the Himalayas, and other areas. Ancient alien theorists have strong belief that the Himalayan region in southwest Tibet could have a secret entrance to an underground mythical city known as Shambhala. And according to local legends, Shambhala is a kingdom of gods that exists both in the physical and spiritual plane. There's also a reference to this mythical land in various ancient texts. There is a description of some closely related land known as Tagzig Olmo Lungring in the Bond scriptures. Besides, Vishnu Purana, a Hindu sacred text, mentions Shambhala as the birthplace of Kalki, the 10th and final avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. Tibetans believe that the god's land is guarded by humans with supernatural powers and was often seen by locals. Tibetan lamas have been searching for Shambhala for centuries, and those who seek for the kingdom have either never returned, foundered, or died. The story of two Russian expatriates, Nicholas and Helen Roerich, is the most fascinating. The couple attempted several times to search for Shambhala. At the end of 1923, they arrived in Darjeeling in India, intending to find Shambhala. It all started when Helen Roering was amazed by Shambhala, mentioned as a shortcut to enlightenment by Madame Blavatsky in her book The Secret Doctrine. Further, the couple evolved strong desires to visit this mythical land after Helen's alleged telepathic contact with an otherworldly being named Master Morya. During that time, Tibet was closed to foreigners due to rivalries between the USSR and the Britishers, but the Roerichs managed to get permission from Indian authorities to travel from Darjeeling to their destination. But they chose a roundabout route, starting their expedition from Moscow in 1926, and their journey was sponsored by the Soviets. It was the time when many modern Russian scholars and researchers were looking for Shambhala, and what's more, several governments such as China, Mongolia, Japan, and Great Britain also jumped into this race. And further, the ancient Mongolian Tibetan prophecy stated that the people of the earth would be united under an evil king who would soon attack Shambhala with fearful weapons. In time, the 32nd ruler of Shambhala would triumph over the bad king and usher in a new era of peace and harmony. It worked as an explosive in the political climate. The Roerichs were the true believers who had no political connection and the only goal to get enlightenment by finding Shambhala. Throughout their expedition, they traveled through rough terrains, deadly weather, faced food scarcity, and even spent time in the Tibetan government's detainment camp where they lost some of their members due to harsh conditions. Still, the Roerichs remained optimistic. The only source that confirms the Roerichs' close encounter with Shambhala is Nicholas's travel diaries. He wrote that when they were in the Altai Mountains of Mongolia, an old believer showed them the entrance to the subterranean kingdom, but it was covered with stones. Another incident that highlights the presence of Shambhala is the disappearance of an entire population of Guj people. Archaeologists were stunned after finding the various tunnels in the city of Guj. Many theorists believe that these underground tunnels could have been a passage to Shambhala, and the Guj people found it and decided to leave the surface. It's estimated that around 100,000 people vanished without any trace. It's unknown if any ever made it to Shambhala, but there are several stories that lead to the initiation of expeditions in a search for this mythical place. This is by House and Wise Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. My Patreon account, the daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.